There seems to be a false note in that chord. Let's just maybe pitch this up an octave to make it easier to tell if it's in key or not. Yeah, it sounds a bit low. And now let's try this one. That sounds alright. I do think, though, that's got too much mid-bass. Let's maybe do a low cut on this guy. And then what I'm adding now is the same chord that you hear in the mending track, because it turns out it's the same chord. Super nice chord from Oliver, the end of the movie. And I've just crossfade looped that. So I might just sort of take these strings out. Let's just go with that chord. The piano's not looped. Let's maybe do that. Let's bring some of that bass into here. It's a totally different, especially mixing in mono. What I might actually do, oh, I've already done this. I've actually created a version of this sample that doesn't have the vocal in it. So I've found the frequency with that vocal and I've taken it out. Maybe that'll sound a bit better here. Just have those strings on the top. We might do that. We'll take these three, put them on this version. What else have we got here? These are some of the oldest samples I've ever actually recorded. How do I get properties? So this file was recorded 15th of June 2003 at 10:38 a.m. That's when I recorded these Oliver samples. So these have made their way to so many of my tracks, and it's one of the very, very first films I tried to remix. Yeah, Yeah, I thought this was quite funny. This actually works. If you have it on this key here, or is it this key? Oh, no, it's not what I'm... Yeah, it's this one. It works, but it's just... yeah, it's not really pleasing. So anyway... I know there's another sample I used in the mending track on top of this one. Yeah, it's that one. That's the one. Let's just have this. Yeah, that's what I did. I actually like having this on top though. Yeah, it's nice. I'm just not sure I like all that treble. Let's put these Oliver samples on a new track. And maybe just kind of cue this top end a bit. I'm not sure if you guys can see the spectrum in this plugin. I'm sure you can see me pulling the points around, but I've noticed when I've looked back at past streams, you can't actually see the bloody frequencies in this plugin for some reason. Maybe it was just the way OBS was capturing it. I definitely want the mids. Easy on the mid bass. It's definitely something slightly off key. There's a frequency in that piano chord that's not quite right. Very strange. Let's just play this bass an octave up and see if this is actually on key properly. I wonder if I can tune this. Yes, I can. Oh, I can only tune it in whole semitones. Let's try negative 0.1. No, there's certain things in that sample that are on key and certain things that aren't. I'm not really sure how to rectify that problem. But anyhow, let's keep experimenting. Yeah, see, this is crossfade looped, but in the mending track it was actually more like this. Yeah, I much prefer that. Yeah, you see, I feel like these samples are a little bit too low. That one's definitely too low. I think we might sort of have this on its own kind of section. What is this? Pattern 3. I sort of feel like these samples and these samples are all sort of fighting for the same sort of space. You know, it's all a bit much. I sort of feel like for this section, maybe these guys need to go so that we have... And then I think we can afford to lose some of this. Put some drums in here now. Let's have that. Whoops. Let's have that in this one as well. I think that does work. So, yeah, I think what I'm wanting here is some kind of... Okay, now, what do we want for a beat? There's something about this I'm not... Alright, well... No, I don't like any of those. Kind of like that as a starting point. We might actually do drums on a separate pattern. I like that. I like the top end of that. Yeah, I like that. Let's chuck that onto 5. Take care of the peaks that we no doubt now have as a result of 2 samples on top of each other. Very, very close. Let's just limit that snare a little bit. Maybe also just control... Whoops, that's not the one I want. Just control this a bit too, so... It's actually looking alright. I don't feel like it really needs any work. Might actually just tighten this one up a bit. Sometimes, although I think this is going out of fashion now, what people used to do a few years ago is they used to have like let's just take this for example, make it super, super short. I noticed they don't do this much anymore. They would take a clap and they'd put it just a little bit ahead. So you can imagine the metronome's the kick. They would do that sort of thing. So instead of just... You'd have... Which I notice isn't really being done so much anymore. It just kind of gives it a little bit of... with this guy, what am I wanting? I kind of want a bit more out of this snare. Let's put a third thing in there. Oh, that's interesting. I don't want the top end of that though. That's a bloody bassy snare. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm after. Let's just make sure they're all on the 0 point though. Usually what I do is I turn up the trim. Just make sure that that snare actually starts when the actual bloody sound starts. Otherwise you have this weird sort of delay effect happening. I'm still not sure I like this. It's one of those less is more things. You know, what they used to do is they used to really love their little trip. So you'd get this kind of, you know, I think that's getting quite dated already. You just want enough. I might actually just raise this. Just really get that snare beefed up. And then the other thing I might do is just bring in a very slight amount of that's obviously way too much. Just a slight amount of that. Do sort of prefer that. Sort of makes it a little less tight. We might just delay it very, very slightly. Alright. That's not too bad. That's a crazy, crazy clap. Let's try something a little bit less in your face. Yeah, see, that's... Just gives it a bit of, you know, splash. Which is, again, it's one of those less is more things, and I think that reverb as well can maybe do just under 4. Alright. So, whoops. Now, in terms of... what I'm hearing with this is... See, again... So what we might do is actually bring in some acoustic hats. So I'm going to go into the actual FL Studio sample library because I know for certain there are not those. Where are our kits? Kits. Yeah, I like those. With your hats, right, you don't want... Because you can hear it's the same sound over and over. Your brain is very good at picking up patterns. So what you want to do is... You want each strike to sound a bit different. So I'm going to bring this in, because this I really like this hat. Bring in another one. Slightly different, and another one. Alright. And then we might just kind of cycle through them like that. So if we listen to this... And then just to break it up even further, I'll have that one. Alright. So let's put that onto channel 6. Call this hat. And then we'll take a look at the peaks. That's not too bad, actually. Usually what you can do is, if you bring down the highest point of those peaks, you start to... You're basically pushing down the loudest part of those hats, which means the reverb becomes more obvious. Which is kind of nice, depending on the mix. We might try that out later. Because right now the hats are very tight and very peaky. I prefer my hats to be just a little bit more splashy. Alright, so that's a good starting point. You could also sort of put in... If we have like a really little... hi-hat somewhere. Yeah, you might... You could sort of do... something like this. So you have these guys on these ones. This is streaming, isn't it? Yes. But I think that's getting a bit pretentious. Maybe that's really for the chorus. You could just have it on some of them. Just very slight. Now let's sort out a kick. I'm kind of... These days I go for kicks that aren't really very bassy. I prefer the kicks of the 80s where the bass line is actually the thing on the bottom of the track. And then the kick actually kind of sits more up towards like the, you know, sort of 200, 300 hertz range. Instead of blowing out your sub, you know. Especially for a track like this, which isn't really... Yeah, that's a good start. That's got some nice body to it. We might chuck this one to track 7. Rename this kick. And I know straight out of the starting gate, I'm going to want to cut off anything really under 100 hertz. And we're definitely going to want to limit kick just a bit. We'll kind of give it some headroom because I know I'm going to be stacking samples here. So obviously on its own, that kick is quite weak. So that I like the top end of that, sort of. Sort of. No, I don't. I changed my mind. That's weird. So if we just take a look at what our levels are doing, you can see now that's limit is having to work extra hard because you've got now 2 kicks on top of each other. Still not really a fan. This is cool. I think that's actually better. That on its own. These hats here, let's maybe try bringing them up a couple of keys just to tighten them. Oh, let's get rid of these guys because that's a bit pretentious. With the hats, we might just add in some sort of space. High shelf it. And the old sort of fallback for me, the standby, is I love shakers. So I've sampled a whole bunch of shakers here. Abacus, ankle bracelets, goat toenails. Still not sure I'm really digging these hats. I think what I might do is bring in... Let's see what's in here. We might try something like that. I don't like my hats to really sound like hats. I kind of prefer them to sound a little bit more... I think that's pretty interesting. Maybe if we took the top end of that, high pass, filter it. You know, without those, it just sounds like a hi-hat, but now you don't really know what you're hearing, which I much prefer. We might even just increase that high pass a bit. Anyway, let's get onto that shaker. That's very, very strange, but let's just see how we go. The problem with a lot of these shakers... let's put an envelope on there. I wish you could make a default envelope in FL Studio. Like, I know I'm always going to want a sharp attack on drum samples and, well, with loops, that is, and a short release. You should be able to, like, right-click this and just go make default envelope for new channels. I've always got ideas. Always got ideas to make these fucking things more usable. See that shaker? It sounds nice, but it's too fast. In the middle, it gets too ahead of itself. That's quite interesting. But it's a bit pretentious. Again, it's just too fast. I think that works. It kind of humanizes it. And then I might also have this one. Let's just double check this kick drum. Alright. Alright, so now what I like to do is, let's just rename this like, you know, drums 1. And then we get back to our... Now the first thing I know that's going to happen when I drop drums in here is volume levels are going to be all over the show. So... So one thing I know that's probably happening is if we isolate the bass and also the kick, let's see, which I think it's actually just that one. And now if let's say we put a limiter on the master channel here, which there already is one, you can see already, you can tell by that graph, the kick and the bass are kind of competing a bit too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bass, I think the bass is already on channel 2, which is good. So let's rename this to bass. Now, instead of lowering the volume of the bass each time there's a kick drum, I'm going to just lower the lowest part of the bass's frequency range. So in the bass channel, I'm going to put a Pro Q2. I'm going to have a low cut. And you can see already, if I lower the bass of the bass line, there's already much less limiting going on. And I think what's probably also happening is just the general volume of the kick's too loud. So let's bring that down. Let's just loop this. So now let's bring the bass back. And you can see it's clipping again. So what I'm going to do on channel 2 is I'm going to automate the frequency of this cutoff. So right now it's at 10, which is pretty much inaudible. And what I'll do is I'm going to select one beat, tools, last tweaked, create automation clip. So what it's done there is it's found within FabFilter Pro Q2 band 1 frequency envelope. So that's right down there because that's where we want it. But each time there's a kick drum, we kind of want it to be more like sort of up here. And we want it to come back down very quickly. I'm actually just going to take snapping off. So now if you look at you can see it's actually causing it to do that. And it's going to take a bit of experimenting with that line to try and find the best compromise. So each time there's a kick, I'm going to have this. So I'm not just lowering the volume of the bass, I'm actually adjusting only the bass frequencies, because we still want those overtones. And the cool thing about this is, if I adjust this, then all of them get adjusted. So we can decide where exactly do we want that frequency to come in. The only thing I don't like about this fucking software is, well, there's many things I don't like about FL, but one of the things that really pisses me off is, okay, maybe if I click detached, alright, now it's not going to piss off when I'm trying to use two windows at the same time. So, you can see the lower I have that point, the less cutoff we get. So I'm going to have, let's maybe have it there like this. And around the half beat, the bass comes all the way back. So, now let's... I think that shaker is probably a little bit too much. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to help kind of increase the impression of rhythm by doing what they do pretty much with all tracks nowadays, is they dip the volume of the chords behind each beat. We'll give it a shot. But it might kind of help those strings just to be a little bit less drawn out. So on here we've got number 3. So on number 3, we're definitely going to do it. We're just going to rename this to strings. I actually sampled that from a an autobiography. Well, not an autobiography, a biopic movie about Kenneth Williams, who was a big part of the Carry On films. Okay, so again, I'm just going to select a beat on the timeline here. And I'm going to right-click the volume slider, create automation clip. And I'm going to drag that down here. I'll organize all this a bit later. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right-click on here, hold Alt so that we can move it around without snapping it. And now let's just kind of solo this. Create our duplicates, instances rather. So hopefully this kind of helps make those strings a little bit more interesting. And then if we want, we can actually maybe increase it when it gets to the half beat. We might do the same thing with these guys. So that's all track 1. So let's do a bit of this. This all becomes kind of a organizing nightmare after you've got 5 tracks where you're automating the volume. It all just becomes a little bit crazy. So let's just do this. But I kind of want this to be more of a... We don't want that much reduction. Why is it starting from there? Just to kind of give that reaching, flowing effect. I think that's still too much. Now let's have a version of the drums where we don't have a shaker. Yeah, I'm still not really.
See, Bruiser? That's what girls like. I know my real problem.
Haven't really got enough there. There's definitely something in there I think that's off key. Anyway, yeah. Let's see what else we can do with this. This would be very interesting. How many beats is that?
Acendo cigarro. Disse ao que no sofá.
I hate the way these fucking windows are always popping up in front of me. I don't want that there. Fuck off. Fuck off. It's just like there needs to be a designated area where these things pop up. There needs to be a panel. Huh, I could swear to God I had more samples than that. Just give me all. I don't care about groups. See, you should be able to create a default envelope. I shouldn't have to do that 1,000 times every time I make a track. Oh, what a nightmare. Oh, God, I hate this thing. Find first empty. I think there's a lot they could redesign with this thing. I feel like I'm always kind of fighting, like, I don't know why that's all the way out there for starters. These windows mustn't be float. They need to be... They all need to exist within a certain region of the screen. You shouldn't have to keep fucking, like... Seriously, each one of these goddamn channels has a unique screen position. Why? Why? And then it's always getting in front of the fucking list? Eh? That's not good. It should all go to one designated panel. You should be able to go, like... You should be able to go in here or something, or you should be able to go into options, general settings, and tick, like... Place all sample windows in a sample window bay or something like that. Instead of them all just fucking flying around like fucking butterflies. It's awful. You kind of spend a lot of your time in this software fucking with the software itself, not so much actually focusing on, see, like, why is that thing, and what's this doing back there? Yeah. That's what I like about Ableton. Everything in its place. Everything in its place. So I kind of like this. do that. Okay, it only decided to record one note of all of that. Let's try again. Alright, now it wants to listen. Kind of wouldn't mind having this part of the bass. You know, like if we make this unique, which goes and creates another fucking Byzantine clip in my bloody list of whatever the hell all that is. Should be doing this in Ableton, it'll be so much easier. Really liking where the hell is it? I wonder if there's a hotkey for the slice. There is, but you have to obviously disable typing keyboard, which doesn't work because you've already got it enabled, so you have to go and click disable that. Now I can access, yeah, so it kind of defeats the point of having a hotkey, really, doesn't it? Totally defeats the point of having a hotkey. And then I've got to move my whole hand across to hit the P key for pencil. You know what I mean, guys. You know what I mean. It's all just a bit too much fuckery is what it is. It's too much fuckery. There's claps there, so let's have them as slightly before the B. I want you over here. What is it doing? What is this? That's not what I thought Control-T was going to do. I thought Control-T enables typing keyboard to piano keyboard. It doesn't. I'm pressing Control-T. It's creating markers. Even the hotkeys don't actually do what they say they do. Let's get rid of those. It's just a little bit too much fuckery in this software. It's too much fuckery. It's too much fucking around, you know? There's just too much sort of futzing and faffing and arsing. I'm actually not really liking this. Where's it gone? Yeah, I don't like the way it does that either. When it's playing and I create a loop region, it goes to the start of the loop region. It shouldn't do that. It should keep playing where it is, and then when it gets to the end of the region I'm selecting, that's when it should go back to the start, not while I'm creating it. It doesn't make any sense why you'd want that. Anyway, it's a nice bit of texture. I don't know. I'm kind of like 5 out of 10 on this personally. I don't know where I'm taking it. Let's yeah, see, I was kind of using these Oliver samples here as well. But you guys are hearing that in mono, so I suppose I should hear it in mono as well. It's actually really hard finding a sound card that lets you output audio from an ACO audio card to OBS. It's actually really difficult because if I go here, desktop audio, that's not going to work. Even though I've selected my sound card, that's not going to work because the sound isn't going out of that driver. It's going out of this driver, the ACO. So I suppose, in theory, if I switch this to primary sound driver, first of all, I'm going to have to increase my latency probably a lot. Where's my fucking keyboard gone now? Yeah, there's a lot of delay there now. Okay, so now, you see, now it's doing the output thing. Because what OBS hasn't really implemented yet. I love this software, and I've donated like $100 to the people that make it. But what it hasn't done yet is it hasn't implemented an ACO driver backend so that you can access the ACO audio paths of your sound card. I don't even know if that's really possible from a software point of view, but in order for you guys to hear that, I now have to change my audio driver to the primary sound driver, which means I get a huge amount of delay and probably buffer spikes as well. So I'm not really a fan of that. I'm going to mute that. And you guys can just have the mono version. You should be able to still kind of... Yeah, so that's input. That's now capturing the input of the audio. Anyway, yeah. There's not really anything I've got that you guys haven't heard, to tell you the truth. This is all stuff that's out there, really. Dance on Water. Blossom, yeah, that's an oldie. That's been up on SoundCloud for a long time now. It's amazing when you get a mouth ulcer. I brush my teeth twice a day. I have tons and tons of vitamins. Still got this thing in my lip that feels like someone's shoving a razor blade through it. Yeah. Let's just do this in mono so I can actually hear what you guys are hearing. Yeah, see, so that bass, where is it? I've got the bass on channel 5, and in mono I can hear that, see what I mean? Like, I'm always sort of fighting. I'm always fighting this fucking software. Half my time is spent on window management, which is not good. That is absolutely not good. This is, for example, way too fucking big. There's way too much mid bass. So let's just... And of course, I've got a whole bunch of really weird overtones there. There's like... But then there's also... That needs to go. We're not going to have that. I'm not even sure I want that. I think I just want... Where's the mixer window? Come here. Come here. Yeah, don't know. Okay, let's just hear these vocals, because I think those are creating some confusion. Yeah, that's the problem. We don't want that. It sounds so weird in mono. Rocking those 90s hats. There's the Skyrim kid. That sounds alright in mono. Still feel like that bass is getting a bit lost. I'm not convinced that's the right bass. I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's replace this with the pre-bass. And apparently it's the same one. Okay, let's try MM bass amped. No, that's just as bad. It's kind of just all over the show. Let's just try replacing this entirely with a massive instance bass, upright bass. Oh, you reckon? Cripes, that needs... You know what you want? Let's get rid of this. Citrus is just a shitty synthesizer. Let's maybe have 2 octaves at the same time. Or not. That's not quite doing it for me. Slapped. Cripes. This patch is for some reason an octave higher. That sounds like Sonic Mania or something. It's got the overtones I want, whereas that doesn't. That's way too low. That's not too bad. Now we're up an octave again. How bizarre is that? What are these chords? Oh, okay. Should make an ambient version of this track. Those hats are a little bit intrusive, aren't they? Ah, stop getting in the way. Just let me, like, cycle through the channels without having to move each one to the side. Someone needs to, like, just go to ImageLine and say, look, this is what's wrong with your program. It's awful to use. Here's how to make it better. This is bullshit. Seriously, how many versions is this now? What is this? You've been through 12 versions and we're still fighting with fucking Windows. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Guys, come on, guys. I could do fucking infinitely better. It's like Google designed it, you know? Yeah, these hats are a bit obnoxious. I like that one.
I don't care.
That doesn't want to be long, that wants to be short. And it wants to be higher up. Just slight. Tell you the truth, I think that's all at once. I don't think we want that. Where's the snare? The snare's buried. That's tiny. How peculiar. It's very weird mixing this in mono. Very, very strange. Let's just save this as Blossom 2, because I've gone and cleaned up the bass and the mid bass. Yes. What else can we listen to in a mono format? Yeah, Gitch is something I'm trying to recreate. Because the old mix is abysmal. Again, you guys are getting a mono version, so I might as well do the same. For some reason, these synths are very far away. What is that? Number 3. Yeah. Let's reduce that. This window, like, I don't feel like this really needs to be as big as it is. You know, like, it's occupying a lot of space that it just doesn't really need to, because I'm not even using most of the space on that canvas. So it's like, do I have this big or do I have this small? And this as well, you've got all these... You see what I mean? Like, they haven't thought about this very well, because you've got, like, all these channels creating this huge window. But if you look in pattern 2, there's nothing on them. There's absolutely nothing on them. This window should dynamically resize based on what's actually in the pattern. You should be able to go here, hide unused or something, or show only active channels or something. Because then this window will automatically go, boop, like that. Hide all of those, hide all of these, because that's just a waste of script. That's a total waste of real estate. Total waste of real estate. And all of this as well. Most of that space isn't even used for anything. And it's taking up like a third of my screen. Now there's drums here that aren't really where I want them to be. They're on channel 8, mostly. Yeah, I think I want less of that sax. Channel 7. Bring that bass up a bit. Yeah, that sax is just slightly obnoxious. It's funny how things are a lot more revealing when you listen to them in a mono mix. Okay, so what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Ooh, that's kind of a large reverb. So, what am I not liking here? Let's just get rid of that sax, because that's a right annoyance. I don't feel like that's... That's too much. Yeah, not sure I like that. No.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Oh boy. I'm just going to listen to this through my speakers because I don't feel like I'm really getting the whole sound through these headphones. It's a bit better. It's very easy to make a nice tight snare. It's not easy to make a nice big one that still sounds nice. Not liking that. Let's just get rid of that. I know I didn't have a hat like that. I had a hat which was more similar. I probably even used some of the stock sounds in FL. We'll have to go to Legacy Drums, FPC maybe even? New. Yeah, your bog standard Roland. Yes, that's what I feel like I used. But it sounds not good. Still kind of want this snare to be a hell of a lot bigger. Not necessarily in that way. Although... No, now it really sounds like... Why does this not work? No, it really doesn't. Interesting. See, some snares, it just goes to show you, some snares are absolutely useless on their own. This is why you have to stack your perk. Like, I would say 3/4 of these are just fucking useless on their own. See what I mean? Tinny. I kind of wish I knew what I used in the original track. Where the hell is that? Is it in here? Yeah, there it is. Alright. There's all sorts of shit going on there. There's all sorts of shit. Why don't I have this project file? Surely. No, I only have the remake version. Because this is... it's not doing what I want it to do. It's like halfway there. It's halfway there. And that's definitely not the kick we want. What are we doing in this? See, that's also a kick I feel like came out of the stock library. Legacy. Maybe? It's none of those. It's none of those. Is it that? No. It just sounds so awful. It sounds absolutely awful. I really want to track down this project file from the original so that I can actually maybe even export what I made way back in the day and then just refine it instead of trying to remake it. But anyway. I've got all that laid down. When it comes back to that. And we got these awful drums. Let's just mute that. I'm not feeling those drums at all. I think what made the original drums work is that they were very, very busy. Cripes, yeah, there's some old project files in here, pal. Hermione Experiment, that'll be the one that Geesh made a video for. Piano sequence, that probably depends on a VST that doesn't know it exists. Trillion doesn't exist. It's an old version of Pro Q. Lexicon Reverb, another Lexicon Reverb. Oh, this is what, this is Just Blue Fairy.
Just Blue Fairy.
Yeah, that's not a very good piano sample though. That's quite awful, actually. Let's replace that. Have I got Alicia keys on here? Yes, I do. Let's put some Alicia's keys in there. Which is still pretty awful. Let's maybe quantize this to some percentage. Because it's kind of like a toddler's playing it. Let's do like a randomize on the velocity maybe, if I can. Come down on the levels. Maybe just... Let's maybe also... What's going on there? Some of the notes are cancelling themselves out. What a pain in the arsehole. Can't I just activate like a sustain pedal or something like that? Isn't there a sustain pedal in this? Settings. Pedal. Right. Let's undo this, if I can. Yep. Sustain. Oh, it's a controller. CC64. Right. So does that mean if I go in here, where the hell do you suppose I would adjust a MIDI CC in this thing? Target control? Unsupported parameter. No, apparently that's all we can change. You should be able to target... you should be able to target MIDI controller. Well, that sucks. I kind of want these samples to just ring out. Instead of just being this... That's kind of what I want there. But now, of course, some of them are too long, so we're going to have to go and pick those out and make them shorter. And the other thing we can do, obviously, is... I need to get one of the other Vox Valhalla verbs. I know the Room verb is a totally different algorithm, and it sounds really, really nice. But let's try the Randell Hall without nearly as much pre-delay. I forgot you guys are getting a mono mix on the stream, so that probably doesn't sound like much, really. No, that's not going to sound like anything. Anyway. Yeah, I'm just fucking around at this point, really. I might go get something to eat, something to drink. If anyone has tuned in, big thanks. And might see you guys again in the near future.